Hello, my name is Sonia Cortez. I'm a nurse at Natividad in interventional radiology, which is part of our trauma team. As nurses, we want to serve our community and protect them. The reason that I'm here today is to explain that your healthcare team can keep our community healthy and limit the impact of this pandemic. Every day since this crisis, I have heard stories of people dying unnecessarily in other parts of the country. Not just those old and with comorbidities. I've heard stories about, I read a story recently of a 41-year-old principal that was healthy and contributed to his community his entire life, that unfortunately lost his life. There's religious leaders, doctors, nurses, health technicians, teenagers, police officers, soldiers, and every different part of our community that is being affected by this horrific virus. As healthcare providers, we are trained in saving lives. Your constituents need us to stay healthy so that we can continue to serve them. Whether they're coming to the hospital for COVID-related illnesses, traumas, labor and delivery, heart disease, organ failure, things that we do every day when we are limited as it is. We have people from every background, lifestyle, culture, income, religion, and race walk through our doors every day. And we have no idea who's exposed and may possibly be carriers of this extremely contagious virus. We need to stay vigilant and aware of the danger not only we are in, but that our patients who are fragile can become involved in if we are asymptomatic carriers and unknown. We can protect and prevent the spread of COVID-19 if we are provided with the proper PPE and testing. As healthcare providers, we should also not be penalized if we were to contract this virus with having to use our own PTO to recover and isolate for the protection of others. We were given 80 hours of emergency PTO for this very situation, but we have heard that the Board of Supervisors is considering revoking this. That is a slap in the face. This is not how you show gratitude to the excellent care that we give every day, but especially now. We are trying to be flexible and working in areas that we are not familiar with in order to be team players. We are not only risking our health, our lives, but those of our coworkers, our families, our neighbors, and all of our loved ones to serve the community in ways the board will never know. As a nurse who has unfortunately had to watch the panic in the eyes of people struggling to breathe, I can tell you that it hurts more than you can imagine, and we do not want to have to see that. As a veteran, I can tell you that it is just as scary and traumatic being a nurse as it is being in a foreign country during a time of war. We need you to adhere to the golden rule. Treat us as you would want to be treated. Do not ignore our pleas. We do our part. Now we need you to do yours.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity to speak. I just wanted to give a shout out to all the frontline workers in the healthcare system. I stand with you. I'm very scared. I give my condolences and prayers to all the ones that have died. And I also stand by the people that are caring for everybody succumbed to COVID-19 and continue to do their job to fight this war that we have. My name is Jennifer Jean-Pierre. I am a frontline worker, and I am a Salinas resident. I'm a registered nurse at Natividad intensive care unit. I care for positive COVID-19 patients and penalized person under investigation. I became a nurse to take care of the sick and to serve my community. While in nursing school, I was taught to uphold isolation policies and procedures. I never would have thought I would ever have to demand to have proper PPE, personal protective equipment, to do my job as a nurse. I risk my life every day to do my job. COVID-19 is an infectious disease. I bring my risk home, and I could expose my teenage boys and my husband to it. My whole family takes on that risk. I worked the night shift, arriving to the ICU unit at 6:45 p.m. I received a report from the day nurse. I wash my hands and I suit up. I say a prayer before I go into my intubated positive COVID-19 patient's room who is very sick. I remind myself why I'm here, and I take a deep breath, and I walk into the room. As a frontline worker caring for positive COVID-19 patients in PY, I'm demanding airborne and contact isolation be the gold standard at Natividad. I have taken the utmost protection I can protect my family. I am demanding Monterey County supervisors do the same for their frontline workers. You wouldn't send soldiers into war without guns and body armor.
I want to read two statements on behalf of my colleague and one for myself.
Please keep it to 2 minutes total.
2 minutes, sure. My name is Zoe Bachman. I am a registered for 15 years. I'm now working at Natividad, Monterey County for 5 years in a step-down unit and medical surgical and isolation unit taking care of COVID-19 cases and PUI pre-investigated cases. As nurses, we want to be able to do our jobs, but we need the proper protection, equipment, and training to do our job for safety in facing this newly found COVID-19, this infectious virus. We need the tools to do our job and protect the public, our community, our family, and patients. We need to protect our nurses' safety and morale in order to do our job, and the nurses providing a proper care to our patients and the public and community and our family. We greatly appreciate your support and help, and thank you. And my name is Zoe. I'm reading this statement on behalf of my colleague Jamie Coglimo. Her statement is this: Hi, my name is Jamie Coglimo. I have been a nurse at Natividad for 4 years. I am proud to work for Natividad in the neonatal intensive care unit taking care of our county's most fragile patients. Our unit is the only one in the county that does not have to transport babies to a higher level of care based on gestational age of weight. I've personally cared for babies who weigh just a smidge over 1 pound, watching them grow into healthy, happy babies that get to leave our hospital and go home with their families against all odds. In order to provide these patients the safest possible care, the County Board of Supervisors needs to support the nurses by making sure we have access to the patients. We have access best possible proper protection equipment, and we are enacting policies that support the safety of all patients, visitors, and members, staff members. This is not the time to withhold funds or make fiscal cuts at the hospital for any reason. Our patients deserve the highest level of safety we can provide, as do our frontline workers, health care providers, and first responders. Please keep this in mind when making decisions that affect us all. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Ulysses Serafika, and I'm a registered nurse, and I work at Natividad for 13 years now. I work for PACU at this time, and I also float at the ICU. Today I'm going to read a letter coming from my colleague Marisa Campos. My name is Marisa Campos, and I'm a registered nurse at Natividad. I have the privilege to work at Natividad for over 9 years in outpatient, post-anesthesia care unit, and liver and delivery. Growing up in Monterey County, I developed deep roots across my community. I have also developed passion and great empathy to assist others, including you, in educational health, maintenance, and prevention. I made that oath when I became a nurse that I would care for the sick as a frontline soldier. Together with my experience and education, I know how serious this pandemic is. We as nurses need to be fully prepared with our personal protective equipment, or PPE, to step forward to fight this virus that has no known history to human life. COVID-19 is changing on a daily basis, and given the situation, nurses need to be protected on the highest level. Lack of PPE will lead other healthcare members in the community to be exposed. We are warning the Monterey County Board of Supervisors, nurses exposed to this virus will have to self-isolate, causing a nurses shortage. I have never been this scared going into work. I am not scared for myself, but what I may transmit to my 4-year-old daughter and 2-month-old son. Give me the security I need and sufficient resources needed to protect every single person in the community. Please do not jeopardize your loved ones. Provide nurses with what they need. I strongly urge the Monterey County Board of Supervisors to support nurses doing our job in the safest way as possible. Together with my colleagues, we have a dynamic team who will make sure to succeed in achieving the best care for the community.
Thank you.
Thank you.